This is a 2-barb 18 fighter Vanguard build. Since the last time I played, the Kenzai tree and fighter had got an update, and I never went heavy into the Kenzai tree in the past, so I wanted to give that a try, see how survivable I can make the build for a hardcore setting. I have played a Barbarian Vanguard, didn't use the Kenzai tree, but went farther up the Barbarian trees. In a previous season, got to 20 Reaper points, 40,000 Reaper experience, or 400,000, and to 5k favor with a breeze. Didn't have run into many issues at all. Some of the strengths of the build is that it's using a shield, but it's still able to strike through with a Bastard Sword due to Bastard Swords and Dwarven Axes being able to take advantage of strike through. Even like the hand and a half weapons. And augmenting the strike through with the shield or with the Bastard Sword, you still have a shield in your offhand, and you're able to do single target damage with that shield on your shield bash procs, which is very nice. The 2 Barbarian serves a purpose of getting your Blood Tribute, which is one of the most powerful defensive options in hardcore. Having that temporary HP while leveling is very, very big. We take it right away. You get Blood Tribute, but you still have good defenses overall with shields, heavy armor, shield mastery feats, and defensive fighter feats. So your defenses are stacked throughout everything. And you have some access to stunning shields, stun damage, or stun abilities, and overall CC, how heavy you are fighter, and the tactical DCs that come with that. Some of the weaknesses is that you're mixing and matching between enhancement trees a fair amount, trying to keep Frenzy Berserker and then going up Kenzai and going up Vanguard. There's a few points where you have to drop points pretty aggressively. And you're very reliant on your weapon and your shield for both damage types. So if you have a good weapon, but your shield's lagging behind, you're going to feel that in your damage. Same thing with if you have your best in slot shield, but you don't have a weapon to go along with it, it's going to be lacking. Because of being your such heavy fighter investment, you have a ton of feats to keep track of, and they all matter pretty heavily in the order that you take them. So you hit certain breakpoints, so you have to refer to what feats you're taking in what order commonly. And then you have limited ranged options. You have some gap closing abilities, but overall, dealing with ranged targets and sometimes casters can be a bit of an issue. You sort of have to tank your way through to get that. With that, let's get into the enhancements. This is main Kenzai. The big thing about Kenzai is that you have this weapon focus line, which allows you to get a bunch of attack and damage for free, and then at the very top, big attack, big damage with all weapons, and huge competence bonus to maximum HP. There's a ton of tankiness. Very nice. With that, you're proccing a few different things in the cores. Your power surge whenever you action boost. Being a fighter, you're doing a lot of action boosts. So this itself is an action boost. You get +8 a bit to all your abilities, which is really nice, and gives you big uptime on damage, big HP boost, which is really good. Get a big hit with one cut, bunch of range melee and range power, big multipliers for all your swings, which is nice because you're swinging with both a shield and a sword. Haste boost really early in the Kenzai tree is fantastic for leveling. You're able to keep start attacking very fast. You can glug a haste pot, hit haste boost, and nuke through things, whether that's cleaving things with two-handed fighting or doing a single target with your Vanguard and just raw damage output. You have some big attacks as well. Nice 3W attack, another 3W attack. And because you're proccing damage so much, you can regain the opportunity attacks pretty well. And then at the top of the tree, big crit multiplier, big damage, big flat damage auto crit, which is really nice. Competence bonus to your crit threat range for your main weapon, and you get a crit multiplier. At level 6, which is really nice. With Strike with No Thought. So overall, solid tree. Augmenting that, you have a Vanguard tree and a Frenzied Berserker tree. Frenzied Berserker, you're a little barb, you're going to be raging a bit. You get a little bit more strength, you get a big attack, and then main thing is maximum blood tribute, giving you all the tankiness and added temporary HP. So whenever an attack comes in, it gets mitigated a ton and then just goes to your temporary HP. Vanguard tree itself, though, this is where a lot of your shield support comes in, a lot of crit multiplier, a lot of attack speed to get your shield procs out, which is good. You get a shield smash, you get a stunning shield and a shield charge, so a lot of utility, whether you're stunning or dashing 2 targets with your shield. Broad damage, which is general damage, so while you have a shield equipped, you get +1 hit damage in AC. Hit and damage applies to your Bastard Sword as well, so that's really nice. And then a little more strength. Big thing, you get extra crit range and multiplier with your shield at the level 18 core of the Vanguard tree. With that, over at the Epic Destinies, we're playing main Divine Crusader, but we're not using Crusade itself. We'll get around that here in a moment. So Divine Crusader, big reason is at the top of the tree. Your shield is considered a favored weapon, and it's 50% of your double strike of your main hand. And it applies Vuln. So your favorite weapons apply Vuln. So you're getting double strike on your shield, which is the only way to get it. It's a lot of damage. It's only coming in, right? And you'll also get favorite weapon Bastard Sword with Helm's Blessing, making your Bastard Sword a favorite weapon. So you're applying Vuln stacks insanely fast on cooldown to go up. So 20 seconds later, you get Vuln and Armor Piercing on your target. And then shield getting big damage. You'll get extra your favorite weapons, right? So your shield and main hand will get enhancement bonus to their attacks, and both getting 1 W because of the third point in here. We are taking power critical because there's so many feats. We're going power attack using a hand and half weapon. So we're getting double bonus here. So 6 crit damage, crit confirm. Fantastic for the main reason we're running in Fury, which is adrenaline for our active. One last thing to note is that we'll get smites, which they're not great, but with this up here, whenever you smite evil, it applies a Crusade buff, which is 10% bonus damage and 1 imbue dice. And so you're able to get a really big burst if you smite first, apply Crusade without even casting Consecration, and then going from there. You go into the Fury of the Wilds tree to get these big hits, whether it's on your shield or on your main hand. Just huge damage coming from this. Getting the bonus damage going. You get bonus strength and con with the screams and going up to get bonus scream. You're also getting a barbarian rage because you're barb, but not getting so many rage stacks. So you have a 3% chance when you're hitting when you're out of rage charges to get a rage charge when hitting a foe. You're attacking so much with the bonus attack speed in Vanguard and your shield procs and your double strike procs, everything going on, that you should be able to keep yourself raged up at all times. Nice. And then capping out your double strike. Good. So just huge commitment into these two. That we'll go over the feats, and there's a lot of feats going on here. We're going the two-handed fighting line, using Bastard Swords. We're going the weapon focus line, weapon focus and weapon spec for bonus damage. And we're going the shield mastery line because we're using a shield, and this gives us a bunch of double strike and PRR and a combat melee power as well. So lots of stuff going on here. We're also going power attack, cleave, great cleave. So as you're going up, you get a little power boost here at cleave, great cleave. You get improved shield bashing at 6 and Bastard Sword proficiency at 4, so you're able to get your bashes going very consistently. Right away as fast as you can. Improved crit. We're postponing our weapons focus till a little later, because we don't really need this extra little bit of damage, and getting extra AoE and extra bash chance is really nice, so I opted to go for that. And then by the end, you're getting the shield mastery to get a bunch of double strike, and get a bunch of defenses, which, as well as heavy armor champion, which is access through a fighter feats blind. You're getting 12 PR armor, just great defenses going into epics. Perfect two-handed fighting, perfect shield mastery. You can make use of both. You're getting big power crits, big overwhelming criticals that apply to your shield as well, which is fantastic. More defenses going on, even more defense. Swap out defenses for tactical supremacy for bonus tactical DCs as well, if you want to go heavy into that, and then crush weakness because we are stunning things down. Scion of Arborea just gives us flat damage, flat melee damage, melee power, and enhancement bonus to your weapons, which is very nice. And that we go over to the equipment, running a Devil's Infernal Dance set for bonus abilities, double strike, fortification bypass, melee power. We use everything. We're not an imbue build, so we don't have to worry about going the Shadow's Embrace. And then 4-piece Forbidden Knowledge to get PRR, ability scores, and attack damage. We lose out on 15 melee power, but that's not the end of the world, and it saves us a slot that we have for something. Weapons-wise, one of the highest best level weapons that we can get. We'd love to get Ignition, but it's Raid. Maybe messing around with Raids later. If you get it, that'd be fantastic. If not, all as well. So Dino Bone, going to give us better once it's fully upgraded than a Shiny Reliquary Bastard sword. If you want to use that before you get Dino Bone, then you definitely can. That's available to you. Barovian until you get to either of these, great as well. Electric damage, if this still works with the acid damage dot applying on each hit, you deal a lot of damage with that. Exceptional strength, keep your damage up, and affirmation for bonus temp HP, always keeping it procced. That plus blood tribute means that it's very, very, very hard for you to die in epics. The shield is locked in. You can get other ones if you don't get this right away, but best defense is still your best choice. It has enhanced critical threat range of an additional 1 that scales with your and it has impact, so it scales with your improved crit range with impact, and just deals an insane amount of damage. Very high W. It's 29, but it has Sovereign Vorpal, so it goes higher. The Azura heavy shield or heavy shields or tower shields, because you have access to those, are great too. They do a bunch of damage. And then getting the raid shield would be fantastic. It runs into the same thing where it has an increased range, which is nice, but harder to do. With that, we'll go into the gear itself. Have the fork plate for your PRR, your fort, your freedom of movement. I am running a pretty tight gear set, so there are some augments that I have chosen to do. We'll get into those a little later. TOE goggles for quality con, PRR, which allows you to swap this out if you don't want freedom of movement. You can go spell shields for your MRR. Then you don't have to augment defense sapphire. It gives you insight, which is nice to keep targets on you. False life stuff. The lost purpose, Devil's Infernal helmet for deadly accuracy, armor piercing seeker. They're great. We're doing big crits with adrenaline, so seeker is really important. Just keeping all of our stats going. So we're not running a trance. We need insightful and all that. Blade Mark gives us insightful PRR, profane life, and part of the forbidden set. A bone figurine, quality strength, great. Double strike, wonderful. And insightful seekers, one of the best value trinkets there is in the game. A lot of great stats here. The third piece for the Infernal Dance set, for giving our star quality, accuracy, deadly, and insightful double strike. With that being said, we get another stack of insightful double strike here. A little bit of a waste, but it also gives us an insightful deadly, which we don't run a trance. Our main strength, and then it came up Aneth combat infusion because of how we're attacking. I'm hoping to keep this up a fair amount to give us more con and strength and double strike. We have this ring that I like to be running, is the Unbridled Might Ring. We already have quality strength, but this gives us insightful, stunning, and accuracy to lock in our 2 hits. As well as shatter, which we do get a little bit of benefits when sundering, but we don't need to actually land, like, confirm the sunder. They can make the save. Another forbidden knowledge set. Good. Insightful MRR. Fantastic. That's all we're really using it for. Insightful strength. Boots. Give us and quality combat mastery. Fantastic. As well as speed and die hard. Just good utility all around. We're using a dinosaur ring as our artifact. Getting our con here, our healing amplification here, our main stunning here as well. Relentless Fury. If you want to run a Sapphire of Shatter for your stunning DCs or Vertigo for your trip DCs, you can. We get bonus trip benefits in the Fury of the Wild Tree. And just it's good for general CC. And then Bloodbark Bracers. If you want to run dodge, you can. Dodge augment. Otherwise, strips or leaves mobs susceptible to sneak attacks. Get your Raging Strength built in. We already have speed. This is also our quality double strike. One other item that you can run as a clicky is the Sever Tentacle for Titan's Grip for a nice little +6 psionic bonus to strength. The grand time. With that, running very, very simple augments. Prowess for 50 melee power whenever action boosting. We're action boosting all the time. We get most action boost. It's fantastic. Double strength, double melee power, and then a critical hit damage. And then one against many for some strike through and some melee power. Double melee power. This should be double strength, I believe. One against many. Go. Strength. Save. So double strength, melee power, works well. I'm going to scale our strength up as much as possible to keep our tactical DCs high, which we're looking at, like our stunning shield. It's 112. It's pretty darn high. 70 trip. You see, not a main focus on this, but nice to have. With that, we can get our Fury up, we can get our HP, running lots of different stances. We end up running close to 100 strength, which is an insane amount of strength. Pretty solid constitution as well. For saving throws, reflex and will is one of our biggest weaknesses. You can get locked up pretty heavy, but with freedom of movement on the chest piece, we don't have to worry about will as much. Reflex saves aren't too high, except for spells. We have some good health mitigation for that, and then huge fortification, which is good. 2350 HP gives us a lot of defense ability to bulk, as well as the blood tribute, bumping that up to closer to the high thousands. Looking down, we have over 200 PRR, which gives us an insane amount, 67, 68% physical mitigation, along with 80 MRR, with 44% magic mitigation. We're able to tank through a ton of spells. Offensive breakdown, generate a little threat, which is nice to keep things on us. Almost have cap double strike with the Reaper bonus double strike, which is fantastic, and 50% of that goes to our shield. With that, running a ton of melee power, the high or the low 200s for melee power, which applies to both our weapon and our shield, so we're duplicating these pretty heavily. 85% bash chance. This is a 1 second internal cooldown, so it's nice to just get it out as much as possible with how fast we're attacking. And 175 strike through, which we're hitting 3 targets very consistently, as well as having cleave, ray cleave, all of that to augment that, which is fantastic. Both of our weapons having big W. I think we're even missing one here from something else. So 6.2, 5.75. Our 2 hits are doing great. Insane 2 hits. And then bonus damage on our main hand is awesome. Offhand a little less, but it's still a shield, just amplified damage. We're adding them together. We're getting 200. Crit confirm. Their crit bonus damage, 150s. See 2-handers with like 200. Single-handers with generally around 100. So getting 150 is right in the middle of the line. It's great. And then we also have 140 on our shield. Crit threat ranges are massive, 16 through 20, 15 through 20. Our multipliers aren't as big, but our shield multipliers are getting a little bigger. But we're supplying so many attacks that very, very well. And that is the Vanguard build.